Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Right now, we are covering the update around Michael Vaughan. Young boy went missing, then all of a sudden, someone's arrested for his missing because they allegedly knew something about it. And so we are waiting for that to start. Should be starting any minute now, I believe. And so, let's wait there, still not started yet. We're just waiting for it to start. And I'll give you a quick recap here in a second if it does not start. Okay. No, it's not started yet. No, we're still waiting. So it does not look like it has started yet. Oh, it might be almost starting now.
Of this intense investigation. More recently, during the last 3 weeks, we could not have completed the work necessary without the selfless help of others. The community support has been absolutely incredible. As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wondra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wondra's home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wondra's residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed. Evidence suggests that the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. This is Sarah Wondra, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Sarah Wondra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement. This is Sarah's husband, Stacy Wondra, 30 years old, a male. Stacy was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Stacy has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Stacy's currently being held in the Washington County Jail on unrelated charges. Now, the next individuals I'm going to introduce you to, let's go at the bottom there. This is Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacy Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Brandon is currently believed to be in North Dakota. Adrian Lucien, 32-year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrian was staying with Sarah and Stacy Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrian is currently believed to be in Toledo, but floats between Ohio and California. I strongly encourage Shirtliff and Lucien to contact the Fruitland Police Department detectives as the window of time for talking and cooperation is coming to a close. This remains an active and ongoing investigation, with conversations taking place with the Payette County Prosecutor's Office about Michael's case and those individuals involved. We also believe that there are others associated with the Wondras, Shirtliff, and Lucien, who may have knowledge of Michael's abduction, and I would strongly encourage them to come forward and speak with my detectives. When we finally reach the conclusion of this investigation, and I can assure you that we will, all of those who have knowledge of Michael's disappearance and have failed to report or hindered our investigation will be pursued. There's a moment in time to do the right thing and bring your information forward and cooperate, and that moment in time is now. To date, the Fruitland Police Department has received over 1,500 tips and leads, and we received many new leads since this phase of the investigation has began. We continue to ask our community for support and patience as we continue to aggressively work this case. We also ask that the Vaughan family's privacy continue to be respected, and we'll continue to post updates as information can be shared. Tips can be sent to findmichael@fruitland.org or to Crime Stoppers at 343cops.com or the Fruitland Police Department at 208-452-3110. Tipsters can remain anonymous. So before I open it up for questions, I just want to make it clear that this is a very active and ongoing investigation. It's super important that we maintain the integrity of this investigation. So I'd ask you that you'd please tailor your questions accordingly. With that, I'll stand for a few questions. Alex?
So if Michael's remains are not found, will Sarah have to be released, or do you think that she will remain in jail once you locate the other people that you think are involved?
It is my belief that she will remain in custody. But again, we're in talks with the Payette County prosecutor, and those talks are ongoing as far as charging.
And you can't speak to any additional evidence that was found in the house, like you said, you can't?
I cannot. Again, I just don't want to jeopardize the integrity of this investigation. Leslie?
Wondra is listed as an inmate in Washington County Jail, but he's not on the Idaho court records because it's currently like federal hold. Are there any other charges aside from hers that have been filed in relation to this?
Not that I'm aware of. Not at this point. Go ahead.
What was different about the tip you received in this case after, 1,500 tips over the last almost year and a half? What led to the arrest and the search? Can you share any more about what led you to that home?
I don't want to get into the details on that, but I can assure you that the tip that we received was credible. I also released that in an earlier statement, that it came from one of the occupants of the home, which led to that, yes.
I'm sure that you guys in your investigation are following social media pages, which a lot of us have looked at. And one of them indicates a trip out of state taken within the time frame. Without hampering the investigation, you guys are at least aware of that trip taken to get a dog?
We are currently aware of a lot.
Okay.
And so I would tell you that you just need to trust us and trust in this investigation. We're making tremendous progress. We're comfortable with where we're at. I appreciate that question.
So Sarah Wondra didn't pass her mental evaluation for when they were in the hearing and things. Do you think this affects the investigation at all, considering that to be the case?
I do not at this point.
There have been mentions of a neighbor's yard. Has that been searched in any way or taken into consideration in this investigation?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we'll be deploying ground penetrating radar in the neighbor's yard tomorrow.
Okay.
So we haven't done that yet, but we will. That's on the agenda for tomorrow, so thank you.
Okay, aside from just living with the Wondras, do we know what the relationship with the two men you named were how are they connected with the Wondras?
This is ongoing. I'm not going to get into the semantics and dynamics of the relationship there. Alex?
A lot of neighbors spoke to us about a scooter that maybe you guys were looking for. Can you speak to anything about, like, if you had found a scooter, if that was related, or if that's something that you were possibly looking for at the Wondras residence at all?
Again, that's evidentiary in nature, and I'm not going to speak to that at this point. So.
You mentioned the other property that's going to be starting to be searched tomorrow. Are there warrants for any other properties besides that have been sought out?
Not at this point, but, through the course of this investigation, I believe that there are other locations that we will definitely be searching. So there is no warrant for the search that we're going to do tomorrow. It's all consensual. So I appreciate that.
Was the warrant that was executed in CUNA in recent weeks related to Brandon Shirtliff?
We did not have a warrant for any home in CUNA.
But was there a search related to his home?
Yes, there was.
You said that you believe that one of them is in North Dakota. You haven't located him yet. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you mind spelling their last names for us? I'm sorry.
Sure, I can. You obviously have the Wandra's last name, correct? Okay. Last of Shirtliff is Shurtliff. Last of Lucien is Lucienne. Okay? All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to conclude this press conference. Karen, one more?
One more. If neither of these individuals do come forward with information, could they face any charges related to hampering an investigation or anything like that?
I would tell you that, I'm not going to discuss our investigative strategies at this point, but it is my belief that charges are forthcoming. So.
Just one last question. I know you're very proud of your team that's really done an amazing job so far. Can you talk more about that and about how they're doing? It's got to be tough.
It is tough. We've lived this case from the time that it began, and but I'm telling you, I've got a very strong, committed group of people here, and they come in here every day, and we're in this grind, and they are committed to finding Michael, and we're just not going to stop. Everybody should know that. We are not going to stop until we uncover the truth in its entirety, I would say. So, thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Well, wasn't quite what we were hoping, but there were some serious updates involved. There were definitely some serious updates, especially that there were more people tied to this. That caught my attention big time. I did not see that coming. And so we have, let's see if I could bring that picture up. They said Adrian Lucian was one person that has knowledge. He was one of the guys. Brandon Shirtliff was another guy. And of course, the husband and wife, I didn't quite see that coming at about there being more people. I did see the husband thing being involved and that coming, but it wasn't quite the updates we were hoping for, and that's okay. At least they have a lot going on, and they're making some leeway. Now what we need to do is find this little boy so he can be put to rest, but they did say they believe that he is deceased. And so they were still searching the neighbors' yards.
More and more Americans are
with
scared. They
some
might lose
ground
access to
penetrating
electricity
radar.
for a long
So
period of
that's still something
So if
that
you're
they're
having any
working
doubts
on.
about our power grid, you're not alone.
I'm just kind of recapping some of what they were sharing. Evidence was recovered inside the Wondra home. So Sarah and her husband, they know something. They definitely know something. And why? Someone's going to start talking. I would like to think someone's going to start talking. This little boy taken from this world way too soon. I thought today was going to be they found something, but they did not, and they're going to continue digging. They're going to start digging in the neighbor's yard tomorrow. So Chief J.D. Huff says that they did not find Michael's remains in the backyard. Boy, were we not hoping for that, weren't we? And now that we know that there's more people involved, and so now we're going to wait to see, like, okay, hopefully we find out more. The family did not get the answers they probably already knew before we did, but here is the family there, her sister, and it's like, it is definitely heartbreaking. But wow, other people have knowledge of this. I did not see that part coming, but I should have, because she was only arrested not for the direct murder. She was arrested because of having knowledge of this crime. And so they've been digging, they've been doing everything they can. This is Sarah Wondra or something like that. This is her. And this is Chief Huff. But the fact that others know about this, I would think that someone's going to be saying something, whether it's Brandon Shirtliff or Adrian Lucian, if they're not already saying something about this. But it definitely looks like someone's got some knowledge of this. But Sarah obviously has firsthand knowledge, because that's why she was arrested in the first place. It looks like he might have been buried and then removed to a different location. That was interesting on its own. During the excavation process, they deployed cadaver dogs. All of them picked up that human remains were there at some time, but they never found Michael's remains. And again, like, wow. This is where it's like, man, you were probably like me, hoping that they found this little boy, only to find out no. So hopefully we'll have something sooner as well as to more arrests. Now, it looks like the Adrian and Brandon might be on the run. I don't think they're behind bars. The husband and the wife are definitely behind bars. But law enforcement said they believe that Michael is deceased, and they believe that they buried Michael's remains at the house, but at some point they moved Michael's remains to another location. Where? Someone knows. Someone knows. They have enough proof that they are behind this, but if they're not the actual killers, how much would they find? And so this press releaser, I was hoping for some more, that they actually found the poor little boy, but they didn't. And so Fruitland Police Department, they're going to continue searching. But why would it be in the neighbor's yards? If they're going to start digging in the neighbor's yards, why would they start digging in the neighbor's yards? That's an interesting, like, did the cadaver dog smell some remains there? That's always a possibility, right? And so now we need to know, like, where is little Michael Vaughan? I mean, until this lady was arrested, we didn't even know that someone was behind this. This was her in her first court appearance, and she really looked like, I have nothing to do with this. You guys got the wrong person. I mean, her body language just more like she didn't seem to care. You guys got the wrong person. You guys are wasting your time. The way I guess someone should be. I don't know. But here she is with her husband, who is now arrested as well, as you saw him in his yellow jumpsuit. And there was an image of the little boy that was pinned on her refrigerator when he was missing. And so that's a little chilling if you actually have something to do with this. Like, wow. And so, well, I really was hoping for some more. But truth is, the good part is that they're still working tirelessly to find out where he's at, to bring more justice. And now they got to get 2 more. And so they're still looking for any tips. This investigation is still ongoing. And so they're refocusing their attention on the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. Brandon Shirtleff, is it EFF? Shoot. Did I spell that wrong? So now he's wanted in the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. This man was living in the home of the Wondras at the time of the disappearance. These are all the 4. 2 have been arrested. 2 they are still looking for. Brandon Shirtleff, he's the white dude at the bottom on the right. So he's Shirtleff, and then Adrian is the black dude on the top of the photo. And so they're both wanted for the disappearance of this little boy. They either did something to him, or they can provide more of an eyewitness testimony. But Huff said they believe these 4 individuals have first-hand knowledge of Michael's abduction. He also stated that they believe that there are others associated with these individuals who may have information. So he's encouraging anyone to come forward. When asked if the other 2 men, if they did not come forward, it is their belief that charges are coming for Adrian and Brandon. So they're going to be charged with something. We don't quite know what. So, and you can tell, like Chief Huff, he's tired, he's upset, he's determined. He wants to get answers for the family. He wants to bring justice to this little boy. So, especially having kids himself. So now you have Sarah Wondra You have Stacy Wondra, Stacy with an E. You got Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucian, something like that. And so right now, we're waiting for some more new charges on them because someone is going to be held responsible for not only the disappearance, but murder. Because they said they don't believe, because they have enough reasons to believe that the poor little boy is deceased. And so the chief, he said he believes that Michael Vaughan was buried on the property and then was later removed and moved to another location. And so Stacy, he's already behind bars. And I don't know that I knew that the husband was behind bars. I don't think so. So we were hoping that this update would be big in relation to him being found. But the press release says they've been searching. The dog sniffed on the remains, but it did not. So we don't know. This is literally, this is still up in the air as to what went wrong with this little boy. And so this is literally a press conference that finally we were all hoping for something that wasn't. So my friends, that's what we have today. It does not look like we will be seeing an arrest made, or at least that this little boy is not coming home. He's not going to be put to rest with his family just yet. But let's say that we need to know. We need to know. We need to know. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez. This has been another episode of Deep True Crime. This is so hard. We got to figure this out. Why do people do this? And here's the truth. This is not going to stop. This is not going to stop at all, unfortunately. Crimes like this will continue. And truth is, some of the worst are actually happening. Things I would have never dreamed of are happening. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez. This has been another episode of Deep True Crime. Please be safe out there. Be careful. You never know what could go wrong in this crazy world we live in. Justice for little Michael Vaughan. My friends, if this is the type of content you like to follow, hit that subscribe button, click on that like. That way it lets YouTube know you got some value, show it to more people. At the end of the day, we need eyeballs on these stories. Whether you're sharing it from someone else's channel, it doesn't matter. These stories must stay in the forefront before they stop getting eyeballs. And someone needs to be speaking, whether it's Stacy, whether it's Sarah. Maybe they already started speaking, but we don't know who killed this little baby. And truth is, they're probably not going to talk much because there is no body. It is hard to convict someone in a case of a murder case without an actual body. But we will see, because we are finding that there is a story behind this. These 4 people know that story. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to serving you again and being a voice for the victims. Have a great day, my friends. Peace.